everyone, this is Donna back again, and this time I would like to share a tutorial with you on how to make these lovely bird's nest charms. I did a mini book and hung one of these charms, and there were quite a number of requests requesting for me to do this a tutorial on how I made this lovely bird's nest charm. Some of the items that you would require for this is, of course, the wire, which is really important. And I've been experimenting with all kinds of wires and sizes. Unfortunately, I don't have the size. These were from my stash, and I believe this is around 22-24 gauge. So this is silver, this is copper, and this I believe is bronze. No, brass, rather, very thin gauge. And I've also experimented with 18 gauge artistic wire, and this says 18 there, and this is gunmetal. Just to give you an idea of what the difference is, so this is the 18 gauge, and this I'm guessing is probably 22. I don't know if this helps. And so you would need the wires, a length of wire, and if it's 18 gauge, I normally work with say 2.5 feet, you know, to be comfortable. And if you're working with the 22-24 gauge, then you would need a bit longer, say 3 feet. And then if you're working with the 22 and above, then what I do is you need a dowel, and I'm using a wooden spoon. And what I've done is I've wrapped the wire round the to get a wavy look, you know, to make it more realistic, and then unfurl the whole length. Okay, so besides that, you would also need two of these, a plier and a round nose plier. And then a ruler, of course, would be very useful. And then, of course, a selection of the pearls. What I've done is I've got a selection here, and I'll just quickly show you what I use. This is moonstone, and it's 4mm, very beautiful. You get the transparent look, you know, like this. So pretty. And goes beautifully with the thicker wire. And then I've got the turquoise, very pretty as well, 4mm. And it goes beautifully with the copper wire. And I used it here with the gunmetal wire 18 gauge, and that's really pretty as well, the effect of the dark with the blue. And then this is turquoise, pink turquoise with a silver, and I experimented with 4 eggs, but I think 3 is perfect. And then I forget the name of this beautiful stone. Goes beautifully with the silver, and this same stone with the gunmetal, you know, it's very rustic, also very pretty. So, you know, the metal, different wires, and this, you know, stones give different looks. And so you need a selection of stones or eggs, and I'll start off with the silver, because, you know, this is actually quite easy to work with. And what you do is you thread the eggs into the 3 eggs into the one end of the wire. Okay, and then once you've done that, you leave about 2.5-3 inches, and then you sort of bring the edges and Just try to get a loose triangle. Okay, and then just go around once. And then what you do is you, depending on whether you're right or left-handed, you get the longer end, get a grip of it, and then you sort of roll it round the eggs. And do this about 5-6 times, just try to keep the whole thing together. And keep working around. And already I can see the shape of the bird's nest forming. So by wrapping the wire around the dowel, it gives it a more realistic look. Then what I do is, after I'm happy, now I've wound it about 5 times, I turn it over and then go and finish off the bottom. Okay, and try to make the circle smaller. And with the help of my thumb, I'm able to do this. I've got quite a big thumb, but those of you who've got smaller fingers, that's really useful. So I keep making the circle smaller. Okay. And then once I'm kind of happy with that, I turn the whole thing over and take a look again. I could have done a bit more at the top actually, but never mind. So once you've done that, you I think I'm going to do a few more, maybe another 2 more. Okay, quite happy with that. So I take the longer edge length and try and thread the whole thing through. Just find a spot and pull it through. And this is where you might need the help of the round nose plier sometimes if you are using a stiffer gauge, and you can do this once or twice. Right now I'm going to be doing it twice, and you need to anchor the wire round each egg. So if you're doing it twice, do it twice all around. Okay? So, and one more time. Then what I do is I use the plier again later on to sort of pull that bird's nest into shape. So I've done that 3 times all around the eggs. And then what I do is I bring the whole thing over and wrap around the smaller bit that is sticking out and try to make some kind of a hanging with the 2 bits. If you have a longer piece, you could, let me just see if I can get this sorted out. I can sort of maybe use the dowel and try and make a okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make some kind of a hanger. Okay. And it's time to cut the wire off. Okay. I'm going to cut the other one as well. I'm quite pleased with that. and cut it here. And then what I do is I use this round nose plier to lift and bring some of the wires round to because it looks a bit flat after I've done the securing, you know, and then sort of even use this to sort of gently tap it into place. And I think I've pulled the you know, the secured bit a bit too, and the bird's nest has become flattened, unfortunately, in the process. But you know, that's something, you know, what not to do next time. This silver wire is actually a bit soft as well. Okay, so that's a bird's nest charm, how you do it, and that's how I've done it. I'm going to see if I can experiment and show you the effect on this. So here I'm going to use just about 2 feet because you don't need all that much. So I'm going to measure roughly about 2 feet, and then I'll try so in fact this is going to be all of what I've left here. So I'm going to secure the eggs first on one end, and this time I'm not going to wind it around the dowel because this wire is a bit more difficult to work with, so I'm not going to secure it, curl it up. So again, try and get a sort of a triangle or a loose circle like that, and that I think is perfect. And sort of try and wrap it around once maybe, so that it's not going anywhere. And then you start curling or wrapping around the eggs in a series of circles, 5 to 6 times maybe, but keeping in mind that this is a thicker gauge, so you probably wouldn't have to do it as many times as the other one. I think I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to turn this underneath and work at the bottom. So I see the bird's nest taking shape. Yeah, quite sweet already. Okay, and so I'm trying to see whether this is okay and whether it's time to secure. You see, if you take a longer piece of wire, it's much more difficult to have control over it, and that's why I prefer to have a shorter, and sometimes it pays off. So I'm going to secure first on the nearest point, you know, where the eggs are. Secure it, pull it through, and this is looking great. Do it again on the next side. And the round nose pliers sometimes help you in the process. Okay, and I'll get. Okay. And finally here. Oops. Okay. And you can sort of use this to sort of lift if the whole thing gets flattened. And because I've got some extra wire, I am planning to sort of do this double twice. Just depends, you know. Usually I don't, but I've got that much left. Might as well use it. Okay, and then what do? You kind of try and secure the whole thing together. You know, I like to wind this around a few times, and then see if you can bend this down as well to form some kind of a noose. I'm sorry if I'm working off camera, you know, I'm getting carried away, and so, yeah, something like that, you know, get I think it's time to cut. Then you sort of push the edges in. Okay, and that is one of the bird's nests, and I, you know, try and, you know, lift it and shape it and push it with my hands or fingers, or with the spoon gently, and it's not bad, you see. So it's going to go with my collection. I'm quite happy with the final effect of this. It's very rustic as well, very pretty. I love the effect of that. So this is how I made my bird's nest charms, and I hope that you found this tutorial useful, very handy for Easter as Easter decorations. And I'm going to wish you all a happy Easter, and speak to you again soon when I've got my next project. Bye for now.